That was announced, a shock statistic about teenage pregnancy. Apparently 1 in 3 15-year-olds in the UK admit to being sexually active. That was a shock tabloid headline. I don't know where they get this kind of evidence. No, I don't know who they ask to get these statistics. No, if some youth worker approached you when you were 15 years old in front of all your pals and asked you if you were sexually active. You're fucking right, mate. Who's Shagger? Put me in for 5, pal. Did you never get any sex education at school? Remember word would spread when you were 15, if you went to the health centre, they gave you condoms. That was good, you went down there, got the health centre, got your condoms. None of us were well sexed, but you got the condoms. Filled them up with water. They become water balloons. Using a condom in a water fight, the thinking man's water fight. But you'd always have one of your friends who would take it a bit too far and introduce a Durex Extra Safe. A Durex Extra Safe in a water fight, you'll fucking put somebody in a coma. A Durex Ribbed Extra Safe. You'll need facial reconstructions. I'm getting to that age, I'm 23 years old. I'm 23, not a lot of people believe that, I'm 23. I know in the west of Scotland, this is what a young guy looks like in this day and age. I'm 23. I look like a darts prodigy, don't I? I'm 23, so I'm getting to that stage. Some of my friends, some of my cousins are having children. And that way, you'll notice this in a family gathering. There's a newborn baby getting passed around somebody's living room like a joint. And everybody's saying their piece. You know, some people who have just got this natural rapport when they speak to babies, they can just go, "Oh, look at you." And the baby starts mumbling, "Are you telling me a wee story?" It's getting closer and closer to me and I'm thinking, shit. I need to pretend I give a fuck. And it gets to me and I just kind of freeze. I'm going, how you doing, mate? Then the baby feels the tension, starts to cry. Everybody looks at me as if I'm in the wrong here. Oh, toughen up, you wee prick. It was never designed as a habitat where relationships could grow. The internet, right? You get all these wee dweebs. If they fancy somebody, they can just click like on a few of their pictures or send a direct message. And that is what creates a generation of these wee horned up sex gremlins, these fucking apprenticed rapists who are being created because they have never handled rejection face to face. They have never received a knockback from point blank range. Right? They've never felt the emotions walking up to the girl that you fancy in a school disco, feeling your heart bursting through your Sergio Tacchini polo shirt. I don't have a fucking clutcher here. It's bursting right through. Your cheap, shitty Spar hair gel starts running into your eyes as you're sweating. Your mouth's dry, there's a cold bit of sweat going down your spine. You feel it trickle right into your arse crack as you're advancing on the potential love of your life. And you knew you had fucked it up as soon as you arrived there. The way you were presenting yourself, you knew you had fucked it. But before you knew it, the words were leaving your mouth. Would you get off with me? Time would slow down. You would hear yourself saying the words. Hanging in there for the slight chance that she'll say yes, and it was always no. And it was painful, it was humiliating, it crushed you, but you had faced the fear. You never called her a bitch. You respected her decision. You respected yourself. You had conquered the fear. You were getting back in the game. Would any of your friends get off with me? You were rising from the ashes like a phoenix here. Listen, if you hear of anybody who wants to get off with me, just spread the word. Big Kev's in the corner, eating a Freddo, drinking a Capri Sun, looking for love. Give me a quint. Or that's where I stay when I come to London, South East London, kind of Dulwich sort of area. There's a lot of knife crime, a lot of crime. I don't really know the solutions to that particular problem, but I think a start would be to maybe close the shops that sell the weapons in the first place. Now you get these high street shops that sell crossbows to guys in shell suits. Not these places. Shops that sell thousands of baseball bats every year, but have never sold any baseballs. No, the Peckham Rye Red Sox have not had a game in a while. I was in one of these places, done a bit of research, and the only security measure, if you want to buy a violent weapon, is you need to fill in a form leaving your name and address, so if anything happens, you can be traced for questioning. And that's the theory. But what self-respecting nutcase buying a weapon would leave their real name and address? Well, I picture some police investigation team going through the book and saying, excuse me, shop owner, says here, you sold a samurai sword to Bert and Ernie from 24 Sesame Street. And some new guy cop, he'd get sent on a wild goose chase somewhere. Sesame Street not showing up on the sat-nav. Putting down the window for directions. Going, excuse me, mate, excuse me. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame? That's a wind-up, isn't it? I left school. After school, I remember looking for a job, unemployed, in the job centre. First job you see, a customer service advisor's assistant. None of these jobs, it just gets shiter and shiter every word they use. Just goes mwah, mwah, mwah. Basically means you make the tea for the guy that makes the coffee. Like, everything else is like experience required and qualifications needed. And I was just a dickhead. Right? Just left school, don't have much of that. Last option you've got, you can join the army. Right? You've got the British Army recruitment desk. The guy's there. Go on, son. Be the best. And I'm thinking, me, join the army, be the best. T-Mobile just said, I don't have enough qualifications to sell phones. Microsoft just said, I don't have enough experience to answer phones. And you want to give me a machine gun? The Hydro, yes! Good evening. Yes, finally. I know you bought these tickets a while ago, so Merry Christmas, everybody here. Buying your tickets a year in advance. What a gamble to take on anybody in the entertainment industry in this climate of accusations. Fucking anything could have come out. Kevin Bridges gave me a jobby jabber in fourth year. You tried to buy my silence with a wamba. Well done. 19 nights in here. Thank you, people of Glasgow. 19 nights. 12,000 people, 35 quid a ticket. I have never masturbated to a sum before.